Hello, lovely witches. This is Dawn, and welcome to another episode of Shadow Magic Mondays. And I'm doing something different. I've done some research on trying to improve the video quality, and a lot of people said use the backside camera on the phone. I've been using the selfie side because it's easier to see whether I'm in alignment and stuff. So whatever. Anyway. So I'm trying the backside. I did it with my usual way with the StreamYard, and it was horrible. The quality is still terrible. So I'm trying it a new way. Hopefully the quality will be better. Hoping. Okay, so let's get into this. I wanted to share with you about the lost child within and how important it is not to ignore this wounded inner child. It's very, very important, okay? Facing the truth of your past will free you, will allow you to be more conscious and more in control of your life, will bring more empowerment to you, because what you do not pay attention to will control your behavior. The other thing is forgiveness. And forgiveness, a lot of people get hung up on that. I am not going to forgive that person. They did this, that, and the other, and I am not going to forgive them. Forgiveness is not about them. Forgiveness is about you freeing yourself up from them. And this allows you to also heal and frees up a whole ton of energy to help you empower yourself and to use to bring action to what it is that you want to manifest in your life, okay? So the problem is that our wounded inner child, it doesn't feel safe, sane, and secure in the world, and so will act out, and that is where you get triggered by what is happening, and you lose control of your behavior. In other words, you're not conscious enough of what is happening in order to choose the behavior you want to use to respond to whatever is happening. So I have a pet peeve, or a bone to pick with the law of attraction, positive thinking people. Esther Hicks is very well known. She's an author, and she channels the consciousness of Abraham, which is a collective consciousness. And what she teaches, or what Abraham teaches, is for us to use the law of attraction to attract the things that we want to experience in our life. And to do that, we have to think positive thoughts. So in the videos that I've watched of Esther Hicks speaking about this, in the books that I've read that she has written about this subject, always somebody stands up and asks the question, what do I do with these negative thoughts that keep coming up? No matter how many positive thoughts I have or hold in my mind, these negative thoughts continue to pop up. And I continue to manifest what I don't want. So those are two different questions. One is I continue to manifest what I don't want, and therefore, all these positive time that I spend thinking positive thoughts doesn't seem to be working. The other one is I continue to have negative thoughts no matter how much time I spend thinking positive thoughts. So the answer to both of those questions is to think more positive thoughts. And if it persists, then you have negative beliefs that are to be taken care of by thinking more positive thoughts. And this is what drives me crazy, because thinking positive thoughts just suppresses and represses those negative beliefs. And those negative beliefs come from our childhood experiences, and a lot of those negative beliefs, or what we're calling negative beliefs, are creating what we don't want, because the beliefs are basically, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I need to be powerless to be safe, I need to be abandoned because I'm not valuable. So these things need to be, these beliefs need to be attended to, need to be healed, need to be surfaced and lovingly brought to the light, so that we can bring attention to it. Yes, it is real, it is there, and then bring healing to it, and self-nurturing and self-love, and this will build you up to make you feel more confident, and you will naturally have positive thoughts as a result of all of that, without working on it, without spending hours repeating, I am a millionaire and I feel good and everything good comes to me, and you know, these law of attraction affirmations that a lot of people get involved in, spending hours just repeating those affirmations over and over and not getting what they want, not creating what they want. And the reason is because you attract to you what you are. There's a very popular quote by Gandhi, to be the change you want to see in the world. You attract to you what you are. So if I believe I am not good enough, then I will attract what I am, which is not good enough. And therefore I cannot have what I want because I'm not good enough. I cannot attract to me my soulmate, my romantic partner, because I am not good enough, so on and so forth. So, and until I surface the experience that I went through as a child that taught me that I'm not good enough, and bring healing to it, and allow the emotions to come up and bring healing to it, so that the emotions, the energy of those emotions will dissipate, will flush out and be processed. But if I just pave over it and wash over it and suppress and repress those feelings of I'm not good enough, they will still be there. They won't disappear. Now, once I bring healing to it and consciousness and light and all of that, the memory will still be there, but my behavior will not be controlled by the negative emotions that bubble up as a response of that memory being triggered. And so, in other words, let me tell it a different way. Somebody with PTSD, say a war vet, and they come back to the United States, it's peace here. We don't have war here. What we see here is peacetime, right? But there could be a firecracker goes off, and inside that vet's mind is war. It's a reminder of war, and they're triggered, and the emotions start coming up, and they are unable to control their behavior because they've been trained, when you hear this, you do this to be safe. Immediately do this. And so when they hear loud noises, they get triggered, and they automatically respond with, I need to save myself, I need to protect myself, I need to get somewhere safe. And they can't function. And that's the key. We have these beliefs about ourselves that get triggered, and we cannot function consciously because we don't understand what's happening and where it's coming from. So to ignore that inner child, that wounded inner child, that lost inner child, is not going to help you. No matter how many positive affirmations, is not going to allow you to create what you want, manifest what you want. So another ingredient to the healing process is nurturing your own emotional needs. And when you do this, when you nurture your emotional needs, you give yourself what your parents could not give you, what nobody can give you. Now, another person can show you love and support, but that doesn't mean you're going to accept it. And besides that, for instance, parents, we look to our parents as children to nurture us emotionally, but they're just human. They can only do so much. We have to learn how to nurture our own emotional needs. So when we grow up, we're not continually looking for other people to nurture our needs for us. So nurturing our emotional needs, nurturing your emotional needs, what that looks like is self-talk. So what an example would be, you are in a meditative place, in a meditative state where you feel and get inside your wounded inner child. So you see yourself as 7 years old or as 3 years old. So you visualize yourself as being very young and small. And then your higher self is holding you and cradling you and comforting you. And your higher self is speaking to you. Your higher self will say something like, "Hello, little Dawn. I'm so thankful you are here. You are doing so well, and I'm so proud of you. I know that when you were 2 years old, your father left you, and you feel and you believe that other people will leave you as well. But I want you to know and understand that I will always be here for you. I will never abandon you." All right, so that's a little piece, a little example of what nurturing your emotional needs looks like and feels like. When you do this for yourself, it feels incredible, and you will notice your self-image will be improved, your self-love will be improved, your self-confidence will go through the roof. And that is huge. That is so huge, and will help you to continue your shadow work. And this is important to do this before you get into shadow work, because what happens when those emotions start bubbling up, that trauma, you start reliving it? What do you do with that? Well, nurture your emotional needs so you feel good, and you can then help yourself see it and understand what happened and all the emotions that came about as a result of what happened, so that you can handle it and bring healing and love and genuine acceptance to the situation. And then you can let it go, and then the emotions will be released. And then in the future, if that memory gets triggered, you won't feel all the emotions, the emotional baggage that comes with it. So that allows you to stay in control and conscious of your behavior. So when you're in a situation that does get triggered, you can make a choice. Do I respond as a child here in my ego, or do I respond as an emotionally mature adult? And that's very, very powerful. Okay, I want to read to you a poem. This poem is by Harold A. Sutton, Sutton, The Lost Child Within. So many secrets are all put aside. Those causing sorrow are so easy to hide. The only way out is the only way in. Ever reminded, mistakes were a sin. The lost child within was smothered with shame, grew up too quickly and carried the blame. Scars cut so deeply take longer to heal. Emotions were taught not to reveal. So much was lost, but there's so much to find. That which destroys, we should leave them behind. What happened then is a thing of the past. The days we have now, we know they will last. The lost child within, we should fondly embrace. Take time to wipe the tears of his face. Together we know, in truth we must stand. Reach out for this child, then walk hand in hand. All right, so that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments. Do something today that brings you joy and makes you feel good. I love you all, and until next time, blessed be.